Welcome back to the second part of my extreme economy test of my Peugeot 406, where I am attempting to drive as far as possible on just one tank of fuel by going steady 50 miles per hour. In the first part we departed from Manchester and in about 6 hours made it all the way to the port of Dover in the south, where I boarded the ferry to France and took a nap while we were crossing the channel. And now let us continue our journey where we left off, as we have a long way to go to reach the capital of Slovakia, Bratislava, which is our next destination. So we need to put on a sticker. Perfect. After 5 hours since arrival in Dover, we are back on the road to start our second and the longest segment of the journey from France to Slovakia. 876 miles or over 1400 kilometers is ahead of us at our relaxed pace. It usually takes about 12 hours of driving without stopping at 70 miles per hour, add brakes, refueling and some traffic to the mix, and it can easily be 14+ hour trip. Now at 50, I would say we will be on the road for some solid 20 hours instead. Fortunately, I had some decent rest in the port and on the ferry, and even though I cannot say I slept much on the ferry, I feel great, refreshed and ready to roll. Also worth noting is that our remaining range is about 37 miles lower than what we need to get to our goal, but that is most likely after we stop. The car is now reporting the range at its normal speeds. I do expect the range destination ratio will swing back to our advantage once we get on the motorway and start cruising at our steady pace. And in case you haven't noticed, we are now driving on the other side of the road. Everything is flipped, even the roundabouts here are being driven in opposite direction, and it can be confusing at first, so we need to be careful. Fortunately for us, we will be staying on the motorway all the way, and that is almost impossible to get to the opposite direction. Couple of miles further we are still in France, just passing the city of Dunkirk, but will be crossing borders to Belgium shortly. MPG dropped a little, which could be expected after the approach to motorway, and the range and destination difference has deepened to 85 miles, which is a little concerning. We will keep a close eye on that. And just 17 minutes later, as we cross to Belgium, the gap already dropped to 40 miles as our range is going up and the distance to destination constantly going down. It's worth noting here that the range reported by the car computer is not a constantly moving number, but instead it jumps in 50 km or 31 mile blocks, so the gap can change quite suddenly. Another 48 minutes later and our range went up by another 100 kilometers, and it all looks good again, as we now have an extra 61 miles in addition to what we need to get to our destination. Everything has been going smoothly so far until we hit our first traffic jam. And we are stuck in the traffic. We are at the Brussels Ring Road. And this ring road has always some heavy traffic, no matter what time I drive around Brussels. Like, as we aren't slow enough already, we are now losing additional minutes to this congestion. And I'm not worried that much for our economy, as I am for myself being able to stay awake all the way to Bratislava if we get more delays like this one. Alright guys, we made it through the congestion and leaving Brussels behind as we hit 400 miles. We lost 30 minutes in that congestion, by the way. I really hope there won't be many of them ahead in Germany. Funny enough, our MPG went up a little bit to 65.8 and our fuel tank is down to 3/4, which looks pretty good to me considering we have already traveled 411 miles on a quarter of a tank. So sun is already quite up. Right now it's blinding me. Time is now
8:49. We've successfully cleared the UK, France, and just going towards the end of Belgium, and after that the never-ending Germany starts. I've covered so far 431 miles. I'm doing steady 51 miles per hour, and our range shows us 684 and 704 miles still ahead of me, so quite a long way. So yeah, it's holding up. We had a quite bad traffic jam, but except that, the traffic is pretty good. I'm doing well, not very sleepy or anything. That 3 hours on the boat really helped, and our average MPG so far from the start is 65.8, so it's pretty good. So time to destination 11 hours 41 minutes so far. So we'll see. So far I'm not tired, but 12 hours still long way. Okay, I will see you again in Germany. We just made 500 miles and we're doing quite well with the range. Just bumped to 839 as we were going downhill for a while, and we have remaining 638 miles. And we are halfway through. I've just reached 570 miles driven, and according to Google Maps we still have 570 to our destination. So not sure if I should be happy about it or no. Just to think about it, that I have to drive for another 570 miles. Oh my god, what have I gotten myself into? But good news is we have more than half of the tank. That means that we are on track to get to our destination with just one tank of fuel.
...618 miles done, and we are heading towards Frankfurt, and we will be driving straight through its airport on this motorway. Our MPG went up again to 67.3, and it's getting quite hot in here. I might have to turn the AC on if the temperature will keep climbing. And we are about to drive through Frankfurt above Main with its iconic round-shaped airport building that looks like a very long cruise ship. There are runways on both sides, and if you drive through at the right time, you can even see a plane rolling to one of them right as you drive under it. I've never flew to or from this airport yet, but driven around it many times. It's a big milestone, generally marking 1/3 of Germany done. Still have Nuremberg and Passau ahead of us, which will mark the other 2/3. And as soon as we left the airport, we hit some roadworks. There have been so many of them in Germany, and I thought they will be bad for us, but actually they are pretty good, as everybody will have to slow down to around 50 miles per hour, and I don't feel so out of place anymore. But shortly after the roadworks, the traffic started to jam again and slow down considerably. Now is the pretty good time to take a short break while the traffic improves. I took a well-needed rest in here and stretched myself out a little bit. Need a toilet as well, as I started drinking my stash of energy drinks, but then when I was about to start the car again, I've noticed oil indicator on the dashboard showing one segment less than full, and since we are on a level surface, I knew right away what's going on. The oil cap on the engine was opened again. I still haven't bought the clips to secure the loose cover, and I suspect as the cover constantly bumping to the oil cap, it loosened up and unscrew over time. I cleaned the mess, put the oil cap back on, and put some napkins around it to try to protect it from unscrewing again. Should do the trick for now, but I really have to order the new clips. After the rest, the traffic has improved. We hit 700 miles and are halfway to Nuremberg already. I had to start using the AC as temperatures went through the roof. 26 degrees Celsius at the moment, but I'm not running it all the time. Once it cools down a little bit, I switch it off again and so on. 800 miles, guys, and Nuremberg is already behind us. I have also started to feel very tired and was dozing off constantly. Had to stop somewhere to take some more rest, bought some strong coffee and closed my eyes for a few minutes, which helped, and we are back on the road for the last third of Germany ahead. Still using AC on and off every few minutes as it's like a summer day here. As far as trackers go, I would say about 90% have no problem overtaking me, but about 1 in 10 trucks will blink on me occasionally here in Europe. Except that I had one little more serious incident that just happened on this segment as we were approaching Passau. As you can see, there is this 2-lane motorway segment that had no overtaking sign for trucks for 15 kilometers. As soon as I've seen that sign, I knew that is not looking good. It was only a matter of time before a truck got stuck behind me, and the one unfortunate tracker was quite impatient and was going full blinking crazy on me. I held my speed and he kept on blinking and got quite close to me, and soon there was another truck behind him and that one started blinking on the first one. Why the hell are you going so slow? The first one kept blinking on me and then even got on the hard shoulder to show the second one the reason why he cannot go faster, and this whole ordeal was quite stressful. I was considering stopping at the next resting place, but eventually did not, as I was resting just a moment ago. Fortunately, the trackers, not wanting to break the no overtaking sign, gave up their blinking after a short while and left some distance behind me and just followed me for the remaining 10 or so kilometers before the end of the restriction. As soon as it ended, they overtook me promptly, not forgetting the final blink at me before passing me. That was the most stressful 15 minutes on this journey so far. 923 miles and it's dark again. I'm getting very sleepy and we just passed Passau and are about 5 miles from the Austrian borders. Finally the end of Germany is near. Also our average MPG went up again to quite impressive 69 or 4.1 liter per 100 kilometers. Who would have thought that this car can do such an economy? I am impressed. Here we have another milestone, 1000 miles driven, and the trip computer does not support bigger numbers than 999. Strange, I would bet my older D8 model of 406 had support for 1000 plus numbers on its trip counter. Anyway, we are in Austria now and I had to stop to buy motorway sticker and something to snack as I start to doze off really bad now. 1112 miles done, leaving Vienna for the final push. Not far to Bratislava now, but it has been critical with me falling asleep really bad since the last update, and normal coffee breaks and energy drinks no longer work at this point, but I have one more trick, and that is to start eating. That will trick the brain in full focus mode again. So I was snacking on some wraps and 2 bags of crisps that I bought previously and was very slowly munching on those for the last hour or so. It works wonders as long as you don't run out. And some 30 hours later, since we started our journey from UK Manchester, we have arrived and we still have 202 miles left and almost quarter of the less than a quarter of the tank. That's pretty crazy. And we did 1156 miles with the average MPG 69.0. Crazy. Okay, time to get home and I'm tired. I need some sleep. See you tomorrow. And so we not only made it all the way from Manchester to Bratislava, we have done so with quite admirable almost quarter of a tank left. Can we push it all the way to the north part of Slovakian mountains to this exact location where I am right now without refueling? You will have to wait for the third and final part. But I will give you a little sneak peek where we will be heading after our short stay in Bratislava next. This lovely mountain cabin belongs to our family and I haven't been here for quite a few years, so we're gonna stay for some time and have some adventures here after our short stay in Bratislava. Until then, have an awesome rest of your day and I hope to see you soon. Bye!